Good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Friday morning here. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Just checking all the streams here. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I am Nick Slavic. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavic Painting and Restoration Company. Also, the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It is a weekly live Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram show where we talk about the life of a master craftsperson and a paint business entrepreneur. So today we're changing up the time a little bit. I'm going to catch you guys on your way to work or waking up, depending on where in the country or the world you are. We're going to talk about the responsibilities of the owner, what you own, what you have to do, what you need to take in and own and do and operate yourself versus the things that you kind of farm out like that. So before we get into that, while we will end up recapping some of my event in Pittsburgh this week, which was absolutely awesome. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And a lot of this discussion stems from the long discussions we had all day about my master's classes. And the theme of it was taking ownership of different things. And it's a emerging theme in our industry as well, too. I thought it was really apropos to talk about today. So looking forward to doing all that with you guys. Before we do that, we have some PCA events coming up in the fall. The full event schedule of the PCA events this year have been released. We have craftsmanship and residential in the fall. That's going to be over in Nashville. We have PCA in Espanol and women in paint as well too. We're going to go San Diego. Commercial conference is going to be in Asheville, North Carolina. And of course, we have our Super Bowl, the PCA Expo in February of 2027. That's going to be absolutely awesome. New Orleans, over 10 years ago, just about, I went to my first PCA Expo. It was in New Orleans. I had one of the greatest, most eye-awakening times of my life. It'll be a great sort of return into that. And the nightlife in New Orleans, the history is absolutely mind-blowing. I actually went out and toured a bunch of plantations, historic sites and things that I was there, saw a bunch of history, and it was absolutely awesome. So PCA events are all out there, ready to go. I would love to see you there. There's a link in the show notes for this thing if you want to go see me at any of those things. Also, guys, very special. This next week, we are announcing the winner of the free work vacation from Mastering the Basics. So Mastering the Basics is the series of educational videos that I create every year, refresh them completely every year. All new content, all new data, all my new learnings from my business. You're basically getting top of the mind, fresh stuff that I'm learning as a business owner, as a master craftsperson. There's 8 educational videos. I basically break down the 8 portions of an entire painting business and show you how we've systemized it over the years and how others systemize it, and then give you some roadmaps to it. We also have over 20 of my own templates. And you guys know, if you started getting my templates 6, 7, 8 years ago, they are vastly different than now. Every time I learn something, every time I change something, the advent of new technology, I start updating my spreadsheets, my templates, things to help you. And then we give those to you. And also, you get my personal support. This Wednesday/Thursday, we are picking one person at random who has purchased Mastering the Basics, and we are going to be flying, I am going to be taking out my wallet. I'm going to be flying you here to the Slavic shop, and we can spend the day doing whatever you want. If you want to go to a wilderness area, walk in the woods with me and talk about family life balance, work balance, all that other stuff, the purposes in life, things like that, we can do that. If you want to review job costing, we can do that. If you want to see an estimate, a job site visit, any other things, we can do that as well. So I want this to be a very selfish thing for you. It would be great if we could get together and do that. Later on this week, this next week, Wednesday, Thursday, I will be picking one person at random from everybody who's purchased Mastering the Basics. I will personally fly you out to spend a day to do whatever you want, work on your business, work on your life, do whatever you else want with me, snoop around the Slavic shop, walk in the native prairie I planted on the farm, any of those things out there. Link in the show notes for all of this Mastering the Basics stuff. I will tell you this. So many people. My promise with the Mastering the Basics series is you get a certain level of concierge assistance from me. And what's really cool is that whenever I see an email or a call come through for an MTB or I know it's going to be a good discussion, but also I jump on it like a grenade. I absolutely love the conversations. All the educational videos and the templates spur on a lot of discussion about some very interesting things. You guys know that I love to discuss all those things. So looking forward to that. You get my personal assistance with all that stuff. Now, this week I went to Pittsburgh. I did a full day of master's classes. I changed the format this year. Like you guys know, I've been doing master's classes for a lot of years. The content, the visuals, the everything is all new every year because I learn so much more. I mean, especially like the tip of the spear stuff when we think about like marketing. I'm doing brand new marketing experiments and I'm taking those results to you guys every year. 1 year ago at this time, I told everybody on my master's classes, I did about 15 events last year. I was like, I am going to do an experiment with a street team. We're going to get young people and scooters and door hangers, and we're going to track them using technology, and we're going to see what we can do. And I told you guys, I don't know. This may be the stupidest thing I've ever done. We now have all the results, and I have a portion of my master's class that tells you exactly what I thought, the hypothesis, what we did, how we had to iterate during the thing, and what the results were. And I can actually give you, we did 56,000 door hangers, and I can give you the results for every single one of them, and I do in those master's classes. So it's really fun to do that. I also changed up my format for the day. I typically would pick like one or two big, juicy, just like very dense sort of master's classes and do very long lectures and things like that. It's just good. We can go deep, 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 penetrate into the subject. This year, I change up the format a little bit. I'm picking on my menu of like 12 master's classes, I pick 4 master's classes and we condense them down into about 45 to 50 minutes and we leave tons of time for question and answer. So I've been doing a bunch of quick hitters like this and it's been absolutely awesome. So I went to Pittsburgh and we did financials. That's a brand new one for this year. I know financials sounds dry as popcorn, but I made it interesting. I made it condensed down into what business owners sort of do, things like that, and what we do in my company. And I take the whole world of like, oh my God, I hear all about these cash flow statements, P&Ls, job costing. What are we supposed to do? I show you exactly what we have to do and how a business owner uses it. I even have one portion of the financial segment that says, just get somebody to do this for you, which ties into the theme of today of what you own as a business owner. Brett Fisher from Facebook, you come into Ohio for a master's class? I don't think I have anything on the books. I have things coming close to you, but personal promise to anybody here. If you want a day full of master's classes in your area, you give me an email, nick@nickslavic.com. We'll connect with a local paint rep and we will get something going in your area. I would absolutely love to do that. Brett, you get a hold of me and we can set something up in your area. Ohio is one of the top 3 to 5 hotspots in the industry for painting contractors. It's absolutely awesome. So format of the master's classes, we did 4 instead of 2. We did financials, we did systems and processes, playbooks. I show how each section of my business is systemized, things like that. We did estimating and we did marketing. And of course, we continued our anonymous pricing experiments where we all estimate the same 3 things. I added 100 more data points to my database, which is absolutely awesome. And then we did the marketing one. And my God, do I have fresh data for marketing. Every single year, I've been putting down the pedal for about 2 years. I've been marketing seriously, professionally, and data-based marketing for probably 5 or 6 years heavily. We've always done some form of marketing, but we got really serious about 5 or 6 years ago. 2024 is when the industry shifted. Labor was much easier to find. Leads were now harder. I shifted time and money resources over to marketing. And then I have gone as hard as anybody possibly can into marketing. In fact, we have brought all marketing in-house. I now have a young college student who's my marketing coordinator who every week coordinates all the marketing. I sniff it and then we all do it here. And then it's an absolutely awesome thing. And I have so much freaking data to share you guys about that sort of thing. So Tadeo, how's it going? How are you? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Did shows in Dubai. That's awesome, man. Craig, 249 is nothing compared to what we're spending on anything yeah, that's, my Mastering the Basics series is 249. And, what's really awesome is that, the Mastering the Basics series is like a love letter to the industry, which is, it's the thing that I would have wanted to see 18 years ago when I started my business. So it's a wonderful thing. And, also, like I said, somebody's going to get flown out later on and they're going to spend an entire day with me based on this. It's sort of like the way I can give back to some of the people who have purchased Mastering the Basics here. So really appreciate that, guys. So now let's get into the actual show today. what you own. Oh, Rodrigo Francosi, Banoche, my friend. Oh, not Banoche, Bagia, my friend. All my friends down in Brazil. What do you own as a paint business owner, right? Or even just as a business owner? The theme of the master's class has emerged over the last couple of years, and especially it got driven home in Pittsburgh with that amazing group of people, which is when we would go through these master's classes of about like the question of like, where do you find labor keeps coming up. The question of how do you find leads keeps coming up. All these things keep like randomly coming up here and there. And in the end, instead of actually saying like we do actually talk about the specifics of where do you find labor, where do you find leads, but you need to take a step back and think more about holistically, what is your job as a business owner? I fully believe that you need to own leads, labor, and leadership. Leads, labor, and leadership. You need to figure out, you need to own where your jobs are coming from. You need to own where you source your labor and a continual source of labor. And you need to own the leadership and management of those people. Now, that may seem simple on its face, but in practicality, this is what you actually find when you get out into the real world, which is people say right now, go on all the painter Facebooks all over the place, all over the place. And get out there and look at the questions that people have. People are saying, what marketing agency should I use for my leads? Listen, you are a single owner operator. You maybe have 1, 2, 3 employees, and you are going to pay a marketing agency to help you find leads? You are not but a few phone calls away from getting all the estimates that you need. In my marketing master's classes, what I go through is not, everybody leaps to, do we do meta? What do you put in your meta ads? All this other stuff. What I start off as is, oops, sorry, I got to see if I can. Okay, there we go. I'll get to your guys' questions in just a second here. What I get in my marketing master's classes is a very unsatisfying sort of thing. Oh, family's leaving for school. Is this? I have a whole portion of my master's class in marketing that's about free things or effort-based things you can do to get leads right now. And they're actually more effective than paid leads. But people don't want to do that. I see the looks on people's faces, and their initial reaction is, well, I just want somebody else to solve this for me. There is a horrible bald-faced truth that we need to face as being business owners, which is if you ask somebody to do something for you, to fix something for you, to solve this for you, you're going to pay a premium and it's not going to be as efficient as if you do it. Also, if you ever have somebody else do something for you, you now need to own the management and leadership of that. You need to be a subject matter expert so you know the technical skills, so you actually know how to get them, how to hold them accountable. That is the biggest part, right? So when I say you need to own leads, labor, and leadership, you need to own the process of how leads come into you. And one thing that is okay is if you're young and you're small and you're just starting, it's a lot of word of mouth, and sometimes you're a little passive and things just come to you, and that's fine. But then if you also want to grow this company or not have gaps in your schedule, you're now going to have to use your effort or money or both to then take control and ownership of those leads. Always at the start of a company, you're going to have more time than you're going to have money. I have a whole list of things you can do using just your effort, just time to go out there and get leads. Update your Google listing, get your website, which is basically for free, keep it updated, post to Instagram and Meta, go into all the Facebook happenings groups in your local area, get all that stuff out there. You can do this all the time. You can also, for $18, get a solicitor's permit in my hometown, print off a bunch of flyers next to free, walk around, knock on doors, and ask for work, right? But that takes work and that takes intentionality, and you have to do that consistently to own that sort of thing. Let's look at some questions here. Craig Rierick. I currently spend 0 on advertising and currently have 70 jobs on the schedule. Effort-based advertising does work super well. I'm just now getting into the paid marketing. Yep, you know the deal, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. Absolutely love that. All right, Instagram, let's take a look here. Hey, bom dia, all my friends down in Brazil. Thanks for watching down there. Appreciate you guys very much. Okay, so we talk about the ownership of responsibility here. There is a huge tendency in our industry to default to, well, is there somebody out here that can solve this for me? And like I said, you are going to pay an ultra premium and it's not going to be as good. I just talked about the marketing portion. Let's talk about the labor portion. It makes me sad to see painter ads out there. When people are looking for labor, it's a whole series of musts that are in their ads. Must not be an alcoholic, must have transportation, must have own tools, must know how to paint, pay negotiable, will train the right person. That stuff is not an inspiring ad, right? And when you're putting an ad out there, I will give you credit for going out and seeing if you can get labor. But what you're doing is looking for a person who doesn't need any management, any training, any mentorship, and you want them to solve things for you. That is not going to happen, right? And over the last 18 years of running this business, I have realized that if I want to hire a residential repaint project manager, a residential repaint estimator, an office coordinator for a home service company, a painter to do things that the way that I like to do them, they do not exist, right? They are not just all these great human beings who share all your core values and have all the developed skills you need just floating around in your area looking for a job at the time you need them. That is a thing that does not exist. So what you're going to have to do is make all these people, right? What we don't want to do is to teach anybody. I'm just going to be very honest with you right now. Your role as a business owner is to teach people, to onboard people, to train people, to mentor them, to stay constantly managing them, right? There is never a time where you're going to hire somebody, tell them how to do something, show them how to do something, and they just do it for the rest of the time perfectly forever. Humans move towards entropy. Entropy is chaos. If humans are not managed, they will slide. They will skew. So the typical story goes like this. Hey, I hired this guy. Oh my God, I love it. I love having a beer with him. He paints really good. We paint for a while. I set him on all these jobs. He's killing it. I love it. I can let him be. He just does things. 6 months later, that painter feels disconnected from the company, unsupported, doing great work, not getting any of the praise, maybe not getting any pay raises because you don't have a compensation plan that rewards them. They drift, they find another job. And then as business owners, we default to, I find these people, I treat them well, and then they just leave me, they forsake me. I would argue you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. You found some labor, but you didn't own the management and the leadership portion. Your job is to stay constantly connected with these people, support them in the best way, figure out a way to pay them the most money you can, figure out a way to lower their stress, figure out a way to constantly have them connected to something bigger, because everybody younger than baby boomers, it's not just enough to have a job and stick with it until you retire anymore. People want to feel like they're contributing to something. They want to feel like they're connected to something. They want to just be involved. They want to have a personal connection with the other humans and the clients and all this other stuff. So in the end of all this, I will tell you this. Right now, our industry is full of a bunch of people who are very good painters, who cannot find a good paint company to work for. Nobody professional enough to pay them what they're worth, take care of them, and do all these things. So they start their own business. And they think if I just paint and paint well, I'll be good. And they can do that. In the early stages on, there's lots of word of mouth. They paint and paint well. And then they have a whole bunch of work. And then they think, I need to expand. I need to do this. I need to get some more people. And they do. They get another person. But then they forget all the parts about what they have to own, the responsibilities of being a business owner. There's HR, there's legal, there's IT, there's recruiting, there's finding labor, there's finding leads, there's the financials of the whole thing, there's creating systems and processes, there's a management, there's a million other things that you unlock the second you put your name on a business that you have to do outside of painting. Painting is only one of only 8 or 10 portions of a painting business that actually need to be done. So this is a friendly reminder on your commute as you're waking up, new time for Ask a Painter as we get into summer here. Your responsibility as a business owner is to take ownership. You want to call yourself a CEO of a company? A CEO's job is to allocate resources, both time and money, to the most effective areas. And guess what? If you're the only person in your company and you want to call yourself a big shot CEO, you are allocating your time and money towards something. You're not allocating other people's. You need to figure out where your time and money is best spent. And guess what? If you are a single owner operator, if you are a small business and you don't have enough jobs to fill your yearly calendar, you need to start by using your effort to get leads and to get labor, and using your effort to manage your leads and your labor. Once you're a little bit bigger, like you mentioned, there were some people in the comments here. We got a ton of work on the books. Word of mouth is going good, but I want to take control. I want to grow the company. And you can't just sit around and wait for the phone to ring to grow your company. If you want to double the size of your company in 2026, Your clients, the general public doesn't know that. They're not just going to double the amount of people or times that they call you in a year. That is completely unconnected to that, disconnected to that. You're going to need to take control. And it's very tough to take control of word of mouth. So you're going to have to systematically figure out ways based on effort or money or both to get leads. And then, even if the labor market is much easier right now, which it is, we still spend a bunch of time and money every year, right, 4 times a year, to keep that pipeline of labor coming in. Because unbeknownst to me and disconnected from this business, some people's personal lives dictate that they come and go from businesses as well too. So I will tell you this: you need to take control of everything. It's more of a mindset than a technical skill. If you want jobs and your first instinct is to find a marketing agency to solve it for you, you're not doing your job as a business owner. This is not me saying marketing agencies are bad. This is me saying you first need to take control and do this. A marketing agency isn't going to take a list of everybody you know, your neighbors, your friends, your people who go to your church, your kids on the people on your kids' t-ball teams and things like this, and call them and ask them for work. These are the people that know and love you the most. Same thing with work. People say, what's your best source for labor? Do you use Indeed? Do you use ZipRecruiter or Craigslist? Say, no. It is the list of humans that survive all around me. We have neighbors, we have friends, we have coworkers, you have current employees, you have people who go to your church, your sport teams, your community groups, your chamber. For God's sakes, call the people you know. You don't even have to ask them if they want a job. You can say, do you know anybody who shares my core values? You know me and my business. Do you know anybody who would want an opportunity? I'll take really good care of them. So that's what we need to do, right? You need to take ownership, and it's more of a mindset than it is a technical skill. If you need leads, figure out how to do that yourself. There will come a time. I use a marketing agency for one of my channels of marketing, but I am a subject matter expertise. I don't ask them what to do, where to do, and how to do it. I tell them, this is what we're going to do on this timeline for this budget, and this, will you help me execute it? Yes. Then I hold them accountable every single Friday. They send me an invoice. I check the areas based on the spreadsheet I told them to do the certain marketing, and I verify it. I own the leads, I own the labor, and I own the leadership and the management of those leads and labor. So my charge to you guys as you're driving to work, as you're waking up, as you're doing all this other stuff is, it's great to see all the comments. Good morning, everybody. Absolutely love having coffee with my industry in the morning here. My charge to you guys is this. This year, let this be the year that you decide to take control of this. Yes, it's more time and money. Yes, not yes. Yes and no. There will not be an immediate payoff for a lot of this stuff, but I can guarantee you this. There's never been a marketing system or a recruiting system on earth with intentionality, done consistency over a long period of time that didn't have a result. And then pretty soon it becomes a flywheel. Hey, I did 500 flyers last week and I didn't get any results. Good. You may not. Do 500 the next week and the next week and the next week. And I can tell you this, if you're specific about what you say in your flyer, where you put your flyer, and the timing of those flyers, you do a weekly experiment for 50 weeks, I can guarantee you week 1 to week 50, monstrous difference. I'm not saying you have to blow the bank out and ruin your budgets and all this other stuff. You can do little micro experiments. Same thing with labor. Just because you put a job ad out and nobody responded to it doesn't mean that there's no humans out there. You have to go out there and shake that dang tree for the apples to fall out of it. So, all right, everybody. I will be roaming around for questions. I love all the interaction on Facebook and Instagram here. Jeff Adkins, my buddy Jeff Adkins, love the new time. We're experimenting with a new summer schedule, my friend. In the winter, noon on Friday typically is great. I'm catching people on lunch breaks, on things like this, maybe even days off. But it is the spring, and we're getting into summer, and it's getting to be the busy time. So that's what we're going to do here. Tadeo, thanks for all the comments today. Appreciate all you guys on Instagram. Guys, my personal challenge to you, and I'm here to help you if you need anything, let this be the year that we take ownership. We are going to own leads. We are going to own labor, and we are going to own the management and the leadership of this entire company. We are not going to farm this out to anybody else. There will be a time where we will likely need to farm it out, but we need to know it ourselves. We need to technically understand the skills to do those things, to get leads and labor and manage that stuff. And then we need to feel it inside ourselves. We need to have the patterns and the repetitions and everything down so that when something doesn't match the pattern, when something doesn't feel right, we know it. And that we're not blind to it and just let things happen in our businesses without our consent. So, all right. Appreciate all you guys. Man, we are getting some Jeff Adkins. I need management training, dude. Don't we all? You guys know that's my thesis in this industry is that there's great technicians and there's actually a lot of great leaders who are founders, scalers, visionaries, things like that. We are devoid of management. So that's why I put in the ownership of this stuff, which is you need to own leads, you need to own labor, but you also need to own the management of this entire dang thing. So, all right, everybody, you guys have an amazing Friday out there. I'll be patrolling this for comments as you need. Seeing a whole bunch of awesome people here. Jason Webb, appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the kind words and watching. Oh, my friend Graham Anderson. Love that. Planting seeds, dude. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. And Graham, thanks for all the partnership these years as well, too. Ryan, fellow Minnesota painter. Appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Have a great day. Take care of all your people. Be nice to other human beings. And just go out there and do great work. And let's professionalize this industry together. So appreciate you guys. Have a great